to another video. Today I've got a parcel to open. It was meant to come yesterday, and indeed would have come yesterday if I wasn't out on a walk with Rolly. And it got delivered to the post office. We just collected it and it's here. So these should be my sketchbooks and a couple of pencils, I think. I can't really remember what else I ordered, but let's open them together. Now, I was sure I only ordered 4 of these, but apparently I ordered 8. No matter, I will get through them. This is what I've ordered. I've got some Jackson Studio sketchbooks, which are my favourite going out and about sketchbooks. I've ordered 20 of these because I go through them very quickly. I get through about 3 or 4 a month. There's 20 pages in each one, which means 40 sides, and the paper's actually quite good. They're the cheapest ones I've... Rolly's playing in the box. They're the cheapest ones I've found. And really with sketchbooks, I go for cheapness because I don't want anything that's going to make me feel too precious. But saying that, it's always nice when it's doubled up with good paper. Now, these aren't meant as watercolour paper, but I do often put a bit of mixed media on them, so watercolours and pens and stuff, and they deal with that quite nicely. The ones that I used to get, which were from Hobbycraft, which I thought were the cheapest I could get, but are a tiny bit more expensive than these for the same spec. The Hobbycraft ones, the paper just seeps a little bit too easily, which is fine. With the sketchbook, I'm not too bothered about being precious. I'm not creating final pieces in there. I've got plenty of sketchbooks in my sketchbook cupboard, which are watercolour paper, which I never touch because I keep thinking, you know, they're more expensive, put it that way. So they're more expensive, and I'm less inclined to just do a quick scribble because I'm very aware that that quick scribble cost so much more because of the nice paper. So that's why I like the cheap sketchbooks. So these ones are the studio sketchbooks from Jackson's. Jackson's also do other sketchbooks, and there was something up with their search bar when I was looking for these on Jackson's, and these didn't come up in their sketchbook section. You basically had to search in their little search bar for studio sketchbooks, and then they come up. So if you're after those, I'll pop a link to these in the video description as well, in case you're after cheap sketchbooks with all right quality paper. Bear in mind that all of the links in my video description are affiliate links. If you've watched me before, you'll know all about this. I have an affiliate with Jackson's. It's something I instigated. They haven't come to me and asked me to promote their products. I was already shopping with them and saw they had an affiliate. And because I have a YouTube, I can share some love with you. And if you've never used Jackson's before, if you buy something from them after clicking my link, they'll give you 10% off your first order, and any orders that I direct their way, just for full transparency, I think I get about 5% back. So it helps keep me in art supplies. I haven't got quite enough this time for any of that to go towards these yet, but it all helps. So if you do use that link, thank you very much, but please no obligation. There's no obligation at all. It's just there in case you wanted to, but no obligation if you don't. So I've got 20 of those. Let me just double check actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 of the little ones. So they're A5, just in case you're interested. And then these ones. I like using these big sketchbooks for like studio work, for being messy, for getting pastels out and just having a play around. And I was intending just to get 4 of them, but I seem to have indeed ordered 8 of them, which I think I was going to order a big quantity, and then I thought I'd reduce the quantity to save a bit of money, but hey ho, I've got 8, which, you know, I don't mind about, because I do like having a big sketchbook, and I've got them now. Again, these are the A3 sketchbooks in the studio, Jackson Studio sketchbook, and these are the cheapest A3 sketchbooks I've been able to find. Doesn't mean they're the cheapest out there, but they're the cheapest ones I've been able to find, which is why I use them. And they're just the big version of this, same paper and everything. I do find though sometimes they don't, oh, these ones do. Sometimes with my smaller sketchbooks, like they're embossed with the front and the back, so it says Jackson's there and it's got the web address on the back. But I do sometimes find that they don't always want to naturally open that way around. See, that one's, it's all right. Oh no, they've got them the right way around this time. The last batch that I had, it wouldn't, it's a small thing, but I used them back to front basically, because what they said was the front didn't actually open with a nice crease. It kind of made an uneven crease. Again, it's the same spec as the A5, so they're 20 sheets or 40 sides, and it's got the same paper, so it's 140 GSM paper, if you like the technical stuff. And there should be 8 there. Well, there should be 4 there, but there are 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Lovely. Now, the reason I shop with Jackson's is because, well, they've got a good range of stuff at a good price, but also I stayed with them because of the made strides with plastic free. Now, you might look at these and think, that's plastic, and it is plastic, and I'm not happy about this plastic being used, but I can see why they do it, and they only do it when you order paper. That's the only time I've ever had plastic with them. I probably will send them an email about this. Maybe ask if I can put a request in every time I do an order to not have plastic at all. But this is basically to protect the paper in transit. And now I'm assuming that they must have had enough coal with like damage through the post for them to do that. But it's not something that they do a lot of. So usually they wrap in compostable and plastic free, which really makes a difference to me. They bulk out with paper and also use cardboard and paper tape. So that was the tape from the outside. It's all recyclable, all compostable. I use the same in my own small business, which is Embers and Ink. And in here, I've got some pencils, and you'll see these things. You might see these and think they are polystyrene. They are not. These are cornstarch. It's the same stuff that I think like Wotsits and Cheetos are made out of. Don't eat it, it's not food grade, it's been on dirty factory floors, but it's effectively the same stuff. If you put that in water, it would dissolve. I've done it before, just to check, and it is 100% cornstarch, same as I use in my business as well. So there you know, the more you know, hey? So I do have some pencils that are just restocks. They're not Holbein pencils. Another good thing I like about Jackson's is they reuse boxes to package things in, so they don't, you know, wrap everything in plastic. So I have, should be 2 orange glaze and 2 Payne's Grey? Yeah, 2 Payne's Grey. And the pencils I use are the Faber-Castell Polychromos pencils. I like the intensity of colour and I like the price as well, because they are cheaper than things like the Caran d'Ache Luminance, which, while are delicious, retail about £4, where these retail, I don't know what they actually retail at, but Jackson's only ever seemed to sell them about £1.80 or less. So it's a good saving, seeing as though I go through pencils at a rate of knots. But really, I'm going to have to do my thing that I did a little while ago. So a little while ago, I went through all the pencils that I don't use very often when I was sketching. That's just Rolly playing around. If you can hear someone running through the house like a mad thing, it's Rolly. Yeah, I went through all of my pencils that I don't use while I was sketching to try and get through some of them. And I'm gonna have to do that again because I've acquired quite a lot. Maybe I'll have a green week and a blue week and a yellow week and use up some of the pencils and stuff that I don't often use, because I do tend to stick with my Polychromos now, but it just means that I'm using them up very quickly. Anyway, that's enough about that. So I'm going to tidy up this stuff. I'm going to pop my sketchbooks in my sketchbook cupboard, and I'll show you my sketchbook cupboard while we're there. And then first on the agenda is lunch. I am pretty hungry. So this is my sketchbook cabinet. Welcome to the tour. I got this from a charity shop a little while ago, a charity shop called Emmaus. Hello. This is Rolly's cupboard. Sometimes he goes in here and sits on the shelves. And I got it specifically for housing my sketchbooks because I was getting more and more sketchbooks around and they were just getting dusty, like sitting on the floor in piles. So I thought I might as well get a cupboard to keep the dust off them, and then I could put plants and stuff on top of it. It's been a real lifesaver for me. I think I got this for like 15 quid, 20 quid, something like that, maybe even less, I don't know, from a charity shop. So charity shops are great options. I did change the handles on the drawers because my sister gave me a bunch of these when she was having her studio clear out. There were these handles and I just changed them up and I think they look dead nice. But having somewhere to keep all of my either used sketchbooks as well as my new sketchbooks. In fact, the only used sketchbooks in here are either my really old ones, these are the ones with watercolour paper in that's still half used, or my big ones, because the massive ones only fit in this cabinet. And I keep my smaller sketchbooks in another cabinet that I got at the same time in the same charity shop. Ta-da! This was about 20 quid as well. Nice wooden. It looks like 1940s to me. I might be wrong. Cabinet. Look, I've got a little key with it as well. Like, how cute is that? And this is where I keep all of my sketchbooks from, well, definitely from 2023. And some of them go a little bit further back as well. I do have some of my sketchbooks out already. So these normally live These normally live in that cabinet. I've got them out to look through them for some sketchbook pages that I want to enter into the Shirley Hughes Award. More on that later. But another thing I like about this cabinet, aside from the little key, is it's glass fronted so I can see into it, and it gives me somewhere to house all of my little knickknacks that I use to draw. Long-term viewers of the channel will know I use these as sketchbook prompts and just playing around activities, and it keeps the dust off them. Delicious. Less time dusting, more time drawing. So if you've watched me before, you'll probably have heard me talk about the Shirley Hughes Award, but it's worth mentioning just in case you haven't. So the other day I joined in a Zoom with the people at Orange Beak Studios and they launched, on that Zoom, they launched the Shirley Hughes Award, which is an award to celebrate sketchbooks. And what they're looking for, I think it's 6 pages of sketchbook work, and they're not wanting finished pieces. They're wanting to show the variety, the life and liveliness of an observational sketchbook. And as I sketch observationally all the time, this is just a portion of my sketchbooks from the last 14 months. I thought I would enter. So I've just been going through my old sketchbooks and using these little post-its that I've had knocking around forever. I don't know where they are now. Here they are. Just to highlight my favourite pages. So I think I'm probably just going to continue that. These ones, I don't think there were any that I wanted to share, which is fine. That's the way of it sometimes. Although that one's quite nice. I'll go through these ones again just in case I haven't gone through them yet. And I'm going to share my favourite ones, and I'm going to highlight my favourite ones, and eventually I'm going to whittle it down to 6, which I can then scan in and enter, because I do like the idea of celebrating sketchbooks. Although, like I was saying the other day, I am a bit worried that anyone who wants to enter the sketchbooks, I found it in myself really, I found it myself when I've been out sketching, thinking about this award that's coming up. And because it's been on my mind, whether I've meant it to change how I draw or approach sketching or not, it has, because it's on my mind. So it's subconsciously working, whether it's conscious or not. And I found it changing how I observationally sketch. And I do worry that people who want to enter this will be more self-conscious in their sketchbooks, and it's not really a place to be self-conscious, because no one else has to see what you're drawing. It's a project, it's a practice, a place to practice, place to develop skills. And I think the idea of someone potentially judging your work is enough to make you think, well, maybe this isn't good enough, which is ridiculous, because it's your sketchbook. If you are sketching, it is good enough. Whether it comes out how you want to or not, it is 100% good enough, because you are partaking in the activity of self-improvement. Whether you see the self-improvement immediately or not, you'll be building up your muscle memory. So if you are, I said this in another video, but if you are thinking about taking part I really would take it with a pinch of salt, and I've had to have a word with myself about how I approach sketching. I'm not going to change how I do things just to satisfy a judge, because they'll be looking for different things out of my sketchbooks. These are working sketchbooks. I want these to serve a purpose, and the purpose is to practice drawing. And the value of them doesn't come from external validation. That's what I'm trying to say. The value of them doesn't come from external validation. But I do like the idea of someone celebrating the rough, messy sketchbook, because I think only by doing that will people themselves give it, what's the word? I don't know. I think by someone else holding this up and saying like messy observational sketchbooks is where it's at, we're going to celebrate them. I think finally maybe people will start taking the process of sketching seriously. I like that one as well. But yeah, I'm just going to sit here and go through the rest of my sketchbooks and then whittle down the ones that I like. Have narrowed it down, but there's still quite a few to go through. But at least it has been narrowed down from all of the sketches that I've done. So the process is one step closer. So I think the next thing I'm going to do on the next fine day, when I've got more hours in the day to work with, I'm going to photograph all of the pages that are contenders, and then I can see them all together on the screen and see which 6 offer the kind of best variety of what I do and the best representation of my sketchbooks. But that's going to be for another day, because the day's got away with me again. So I'm going to go make another cuppa, and then for the rest of the day, you've guessed it, I'm going to sit on the sofa with my iPad and work through some ideas that I've got for books, which will eventually, I'm not in that stage yet for the next one. Anything that I've mentioned in today's video, I will put in the video description. So any links to the things that I bought today, like my sketchbooks and the pencils and stuff, they are in the video description. Also, I'll pop a link in the video description to the Shirley Hughes Award. If you want to enter, the first prize is £1,000. But like I say, take it with a massive pinch of salt, because no one can really judge your sketchbooks, you know. But you know, £1,000 would be nice, wouldn't it? So take that with a pinch of salt as well. Do with it what you will. I'll pop the link in the video description so that it's there and you can have a look at it, whether you decide to join in or not. So this is where I'm going to leave today's video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, because it really does help me reach more people just like you. And if you're watching and you're not yet subscribed, and you do find that you are watching a lot of my videos, it'd be nice to have you formally signed up. So come along and subscribe. Again, that helps me reach more people as well. No obligation, you don't have to, but if you are able to, I'd love to have you along for the ride. So yes, I'm leaving this video here. So I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.